music no one can ever refuse it. Pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. Very sky, rock, steady, mental, a quadrillion, a cool minute.
Good day, listeners and viewers of the Reason podcast. Today we have a very special guest. In fact, we have a Caribbean legend. You know, we always have lots of Caribbean legends all the time on this show. We are very privileged. And today is no exception. We have Mrs. Marva Bernard, a legend in netball. She has been past president of the NETBALL Jamaica, Sunshine Girls, and also past president of the America's Netball. Good day, Marva.
Hi, Flavius. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
I am doing better than yesterday. Every day is a better day than the day before.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I have been wearing a back brace for almost 2 months.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So I'm now taking it off to talk to you, but I am not in any pain. Back brace is to prevent me from bending.
Okay.
But I'm giving thanks because my next treatment is going to be water therapy. But I give thanks that I can move around still and drive and do everything with it, except when I sit, it is up in my neck, but that's small comparison to, you know.
So what is exactly water therapy?
Instead of, it's a physical therapy, but it's done in the water.
Yeah,
so I go to a pool. I go to a pool.
Yeah, I did some like that already for my foot. I had a damaged foot, and that was part of what the recovery procedure.
Okay. Well, this is what my doctor is going to send me to. So as soon as we do an x-ray, which is next week,
mm-hmm.
and I'm confident that there has been some repair to the fracture because I really am not in pain, but I'm wearing a brace so that I don't bend.
Mm-hmm.
I will get that confirmation of how I feel, and then we'll begin water therapy because it probably will take 3 months for me to be fully back.
Yeah.
100%, you know? So I'm patient with it. I go to the matches. I could never sit at home and watch it on telly. The doctor says I should get up at quarter time and walk around. So one of the Sunshine Girls, Evangeline Williams, kindly agreed to walk around with me.
You, yes.
Yes, and then I sit down again, and so at halftime she comes and says, "Mama B, come, let's go." Let's go.
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
But
so,
of course, they are your girls, so you know.
They are my blessing.
Yes.
They are my blessing.
Yeah.
I really do look at it like that because one of the past presidents who's in charge of volunteers instructed her at quarter time, come for Mrs. Bernard.
Yeah.
He never wanted to dodge it out. No, but it's good. You know, you become, these people become your family.
Oh yes.
And you bask in the care that they give. So I just consider them my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I kind of get the impression that from time to time you try to retire. Well, every time you do something, it happens, you know, like this new honor that they gave you, but the honor comes with work.
True, and you know, they say it first of all, I'm very grateful to NETBALL Jamaica for giving me that honor of I think I know you're referring to the house.
Yeah, right, yes.
Came totally unexpected. No, I wasn't told. Simone said that it was a board decision that was unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to hear that. But I didn't do what I did because I was expecting anything like that, because the response to my fixing up the house came from an appeal from the players who are in the Suncorp Super League who approached me at the World Cup in South Africa.
Okay.
Because they literally grew up in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them grew up in the house. We got the house in 2010. So like Shanice and Khadija and Shamira were under 21 players then.
Mm-hmm.
Romelda and Janine were senior players, and we had even the current coach and Simone Forbes. They were there when we got it. So I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia around it, a lot of memories.
Yeah.
So they asked if I could come back and assist in refurbishing.
Do some more work.
Yes. And if you know the relationship between the girls, myself, and that home, because a house is a house and a home is a home.
Yeah.
And the song that says a house is not a home until you're in it, right?
Yeah.
And we had fun memories. So when they asked, I really could not say no. And when I went there, the decision was a no-brainer. You know, I took a lady who with me to visit the house because I hadn't been there in quite a number of years. And she had done all the drapes, because the people who work on my home would be the same people who would work on their home.
Okay.
And came, and the labor of love began.
Mm-hmm.
The labor of love began. We had a fundraiser. The first thing we did was a fundraiser. We had a NETBALL Jamaica. We always do plays. So there was a new play coming out. And you know, the universe can conspire with dates. Because the date of the fundraiser that we chose was a matinee Saturday evening. It was almost to the day when the government handed over the house. We didn't plan it. It was the only day available that I could get all those seats on a Saturday evening at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So we took it, and I know that I'm supposed to be good at this soliciting, but it is not something that I like. It is not something that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to do what you have to do to get by.
Yeah.
So we made $400,000 on that play. We made 400,000 Jamaican dollars on that play.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm here to tell you that after that, we started to write Corporate Jamaica. And the rest is, like they say, history.
History, yes.
That they came on board. Corporate Jamaica helped us. I went back to every company that helped me when I was president of Jamaica Netball.
Mm-hmm.
Every single company I wrote to. And I also sold the sponsors who became my friends tickets for the play. I just sent out WhatsApp. I mean, it was just crazy. I just sent out WhatsApp to everybody in my phone book and told them what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the play was a sell-off. And then the Corporate Jamaica began to come. We raised $2 million in cash.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yes. So add that to the 400,000. And then I began to call my friends overseas. Lots of netball people overseas who knew the journey. My family of friends, and we got brand new bed linen for the home. I mean, there are people, Opal and her husband, Robert Hill in the States. My sister friend in Florida is an officer in the Caribbean Association of, I forget the name now.
Yeah.
I've got a suitcase, 18 brand new sheet sets came down in a suitcase, and that has to be a suitcase full of brand new sheet sets. We got everything that the women knew and a house would need when you're refurbishing. My sister sent Joan Cargill, whose daughter lives in the States. She went and bought stuff and sent down. So we had a whole lot of brand new bed linen and household linen for them. When the girls went to England to play the other day, a fan of the girls who I met up in Scotland in 2014, she sent down 7 sheet sets with the team. So it became a whole family of friends. And then on top of it, a good friend of mine died, and her husband died, and her daughter, who lives in Florida, Trisha Robbins, Trisha gave me her mom's drapes. She said, Auntie Marva, the mama would love you to have these drapes. She bought 2 twin bed brand new divan beds. She gave me washing machine. She gave me a 3-piece living room set. So many things we got. So it became a fun project just to give the girls. And then on top of that now, Courts, who had furnished the house when we got it in 2010, because we only got it with 1 chair.
Okay.
And Janet Sylvester, who was the director of marketing of Courts at the time, I brought her onto the committee to help me. So she went back to Courts, who was now celebrating 65 years in existence. And they agreed to help to give us new furniture. So we got a brand new settee, and we got more mattresses because the mattresses were almost flat, you know? So we got new mattresses for them. Then Berta Paints came on board and painted the downstairs. And that, I mean, it really and truly became a whole effort. We had to pest control, so we got help. NETBALL Jamaica did that before we started. We did a complete termite treatment, because it's a very old house, but it's a very old, useful, beautiful 5-bedroom house on about more than an acre of land. And those who did give us cash, JPS came in and redid the tiles. We're changing out the downstairs tiles from the old terrazzo, I used to call it, and now we have ceramic.
Right? Terrazzo. Yeah, man, terrazzo, yes.
Yes, so the kitchen was redone. We had got a brand new kitchen because the termites had a field day in the old one. We changed out the cupboards. The same gentleman from Taylor's Wood Products, now LGD Holdings, who had given us the kitchen when we got the house, he came back and, of course, discounted the cost of the brand new kitchen that we have, and that was sponsored by Derrimont Trading, among one of the sponsors who came on board. JPS, Best Dress and Jamaica Brawlers came back, Jamaica National. I'm going off all the Progressive Group, the Progressive Grocers Group came, Proven came. Yes. Yes. Nestle is coming. General Accident is coming. So I'm talking very much off the top of my head, and I don't want to get in trouble. But the support from corporate Jamaica for that 2 million cash signals helped us to reach stage 1. And then we heard the Prime Minister said he would do stage 2. So not finished. Prime Development is going to come on board and do a lot of work with the outside bathroom and storerooms. They're just waiting until after this series is finished. So I guess I'm waiting to be asked to continue the project. Yeah, just waiting to be asked to continue the project.
Oh, yes.
Because it is indeed a labor of love. Because my husband was very integral in the original refurbishing.
Okay.
He's playing a lesser role, but I'm very supportive in terms of how we move, forward. So hopefully come the end of February, we should have some plans going forward as to what the new administration is going to want for the home. Because it's a house as it is, it has to be a home. We got new drapes. All the drapes were so beautiful. The lady that did the drapes this time around did them before, and when you look inside the home, it was so homely and cozy. And Courts sent an interior decorator. Janet brought an interior decorator who made it, as I like to say, HGTV, Home and Garden. That is how I describe what it was when Janet and Courts were finished the first time around, and it is no less than that this time around.
Okay.
And we had the great reveal on the 14th of December. That's what I was expecting to go to NETBALL House for on that day. Great reveal to show the sponsors and the donors to run into a function. I'm saying, why are they not allowing me to go inside to see that everything is in order to show the door? And they wouldn't let me pass the door. I'm saying, I need to make sure y'all have this thing ready for the people to see. So they said, go and sit down. Everything is everything.
Yeah.
But when you get an award from people and you didn't apply for it.
Yes.
You accept it graciously. The netball president, I think, captured the essence of how I feel about the sport and the players and the home. I'm glad the Prime Minister, the past Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, was able to come by.
Okay.
And tell the story of how the house came about. And the Minister of Sport said the Prime Minister has ordered her, told her that phase 2 is to be undertaken. So I'm kind of wanting this home to really reflect the essence and what it is that these girls mean to this country and to this association.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's no NETBALL Jamaica without the Sunshine Girls, past and present.
Oh yeah.
And I know that people think the ones that are here now are getting the accolades, right? But the whole journey began from Mrs. Beckford formed the association in 1959, and everybody built a little layer on it, So I know that we are very proud of the work of these girls. And the home is the only association that has a home. And we must care it. And we must treat it as we would our own home. And that is my philosophy.
Yeah,
that's my take on it.
That is great. Yeah.
When we got the house and we fixed up first, and this is what drives me, Flavius, and this is what guides me. If I wouldn't sleep there, if my daughter, if I had a biological child, wouldn't sleep there, then it's not good enough for the girls who are playing for the sport.
I would agree with that. Yes, I would agree with that.
And so this is what drove us this time around to push, you know, and go back out.
Back here.
Hello?
Let me call him back. Me depend on.
Hello? Yes?
Yeah, go ahead, Mama.
This is what drove me and the team that I put together this time around to fix up this place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to say, and maybe it is not politically correct, but the people who are playing netball today come from all stratas of life, but it is really not the girls who, you know, come from Upper St. Andrew and that are playing the sport. There are girls coming from Kingston and out in the countryside, and when they come in from the country to represent and to play, we must take care of them and have them in a comfortable surrounding. So guess what? I always get myself in trouble for talking my heart, you know. It's poor people, children playing netball, you know.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I say that. And so I want to take care of them. Me and the team want to take care of them.
Oh yeah.
So guess what? And I grew up in management of teams, knowing if it's one slice of bread leave, the manager don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to bring it back. It's not finished yet, because we had a house mother there, so somebody would be in charge of the house. The house can't exist without somebody in charge of it, you know, because these are young people, and then we terrorize a property if you don't have somebody overlooking to say that they don't put their dirty feet in the couch and they sit around the table and eat. And these are this, and our programs, our holistic programs ran from the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I had a friend of blessed memory who did the dining etiquette there. Mrs. McDonald, our past president, who was our number one volunteer. She held classes for dining and grooming at the netball house for another set of under 21 players. So these are the things that the house was also a teaching ground, a place where they came together. Simone and Sasha said it was their safe space.
Yeah.
This is what we want for it to be for this batch, and the ones after, but it has to be supervised. The house can't just have these young people. One of my sponsors said to me, look here, I have a house full of teenagers and somebody has to be supervising them, for they will terrorize the house. So it's the same thing that you have to have, accepting that these are young people and you have to groom them in terms of how they need to care for the property, but it has to be supervised.
Oh yeah.
That is something I think NETBALL Jamaica will have to look at going forward. And the grounds are big. It's a big set of grounds. There's a swimming pool there which we can't afford to keep, and I think it is not good. It's cracked and it's growing bush in there now. So there's a lot more to be done, but it's gonna take cash to care, and I'm happy that the government has said they will be helping us, because we don't have that kind of resources, and I don't know that I have the energy to go and solicit these millions that are going to be needed to even look at the pool, you know?
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to be done, and I'm so happy that Minister Grange has said that the government, Prime Minister Hollins, has given her the go-ahead to do phase 2.
But if I might say, it's about time.
And look, I believe that everything happens in time. We didn't have a house before 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And the government, I like to say, gave us a horse. And we went and found the saddle and the bit and the hay. So, you know, you have old time people, so me give you a horse, you me give you a saddle and bit and everything. We have always helped ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And everything happens in its own time. I'm grateful to the government of Jamaica for giving this sporting association this home. Nobody else can have one like it. So when people come to me and say, why the government not doing this and why they go, I say, stop right there. Stop right there. we have a home and the kind of money that it has saved Netball Jamaica. We used to put our players in Alhambra Hotel, and Mrs. Sonia Gray was a wonderful lady, but she was running a business.
Mountain View Avenue. Mm.
Yes, and that was our home for years on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get a home of your own and you cost what you used to pay for even the under 16 team to be staying there, and we had to camp there, and Sonia took care of us.
Yeah.
Now you translate that opportunity cost of having your own. So I think that really and truly, we need to cost what it is going to take to look after that property and put it into the accounts of the association. Because if you didn't have it, and we get somebody to come and cook the food,
Cost
right
you.
now, yes, the army is cooking the food for them again. But you have to socialize the girls. So the holistic program for these players has to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
It has to kick in, and it has to happen there. Because plenty children nowadays don't know how to use knife and fork.
Oh, yeah, well.
Plenty children nowadays don't know how to interact or to socialize when they go to a function. How they dress, how they speak. It's the image, and I know it's young people time. But still, the old people haven't gone through life fully yet. So there's still some things that we can hand on. That image is everything.
Not only can, but should. Must.
I know I don't remember who said to me the other day, image is everything. And I said, you and I are on the same page.
Oh, yes,
But
definitely.
when they leave, when you see the netball team out in the days gone by, we were like the Bobs, if it's not twins. Everybody dressed the same way. Everybody have on a black shoe. Everybody have on a black dress. And when you see them, and the administrators, I used to, whatever the girls got to wear, I was wearing it too. So a little black dress, I have mine.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing a yellow jacket, I have mine.
Okay.
And they knew what it was. So all of these customs and mores have to be handed down back. Or you wake up one day and you don't even realize that it's the horse has bolted and gone, you try to catch it back. So we start them from under 16, you know? And that is something that I feel very strongly about. But I mean, I'm an old lady now, you know, I'm past tense. I'm very past tense. Very past tense. Eh?
You're still doing the work. You're still there.
Yeah, because you see, you have to keep, when you get to a certain age, you have to keep your brain active. And I do believe that older people have so much to contribute. I will speak of Margaret Beckford. I remember one year during my time, and because I didn't play the sport, right?
Yeah,
I'm an administrator. I never played, but I'm an administrator, and I learned from the people who played and who administer organizations and countries that are better than us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Margaret saying to me, Mom, I call her Lady Margaret, said to me, Marva, you can't do that. You can't do that. I know that you have certain standards, but when you look at certain other countries, they have more depth than you have. So they can afford to do some things. We don't have that depth. And she was speaking about a player who was running the risk of not making a team.
Okay.
Because of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Mm-hmm.
And Margaret sat me down and showed me why. Yes, what you're doing is good, but in the middle is the negatives. And at the end, let's see how we can make a positive for the team. And this player, that player went to a tournament and came back, ended up doing some stuff that ended up in the match that we won the match.
Mm-hmm.
So you listen to the people who are older and wiser. And that's what I want to say to young leaders. Like our young leaders out there, Flavius, want to make their mark.
Oh
And
yeah.
nothing is wrong with wanting to make your mark. But I've watched young leaders in the attempt to make their mark, instead of building on what they got, they kick over everything because they want to make their mark, and they want to make it without the people, without the empathy for the people, without saying, okay, this was good, let us improve on it. They rub out everything and want to start from scratch.
Can
And
work that way? Ooh,
well, I think they would have learned,
hopefully.
because I like to say that I built on what I got.
Mm-hmm.
The baton, I didn't get a pop-down association. I got an association that was well run. Molly Rowan asked me to be her treasurer in 1993.
Okay.
And I spent my energies being her treasurer for until 2003, when she demit office.
Mm-hmm.
I remained a treasurer 2 years after that. And while I was NETBALL Jamaica's treasurer, I was also treasurer for the World Netball.
Okay.
They get exposed to a whole heap of things that you could bring back to help Jamaica, which I did, you know. So as a young leader, what was good, I took. What needed fixing, I certainly tried to fix it. I didn't get through fixing everything. I did not get to fix everything because some things were just not possible for me to fix. Try as I might.
Yes.
But I say to young leaders, just sit at the feet of the one. I benefited from sitting at the feet of Vilma McDonald and Molly Rowan. And then I went over onto the World Netball Board and sat at some feet of some Australians and New Zealand and some English people. And so everything that I needed guidance and information on, I could send an email and I would get it.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So I bring it back here to Jamaica to help Jamaica. And that's what Vila Robinson used to do. Molly Rowan and McDonald told me that. I was the first person bringing a foreign coach here. Leela did. Every year that them were world champs. And then English team called the Beagles would come down and play Jamaica. So what I'm doing, what I was doing and what is happening, no, it's not new, you know. It's a continuation of the old things that helped to make us who we are today. And kudos for those who have the ability to do it and to recognize the worth of some of the things that their forerunners, their forefathers and foremothers did, and do it, you know? So that's just sport. Sport is building on discarding what is old and don't work again, and you know, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my journey has been quite eventful. I've shed many tears. I dry them and I get back in the ring. I've had heaps of disappointments in people. I've heaps of disappointment in things I've tried to do to make the sport better. And I pray each time that somebody new comes along, they would take and fix the things that I certainly didn't get to fix. Hope springs eternal. Because you know when something is working and you know when something is not working, you know, and you know that you have to have a development program to replace the top of the ladder. So you have to start them. You know what is my proudest moment? Looking at the girls some of the girls who are playing on the Sunshine Girls team now, like Shanice Beckford, Adine, who was on that under 21 team, Shamera Sterling, Simone Gordon, Shanice and Khadija, I called their name already. Those girls were under 14. They came in 2007 when Mr. from Scotiabank sponsored the first under 14 program.
Okay.
They came in out under 14, then it moved to under 16, then they moved to under 21. And look at them now.
Yeah.
Look at them now.
But a question I want to ask you. What do you think that made us or allow Jamaica to keep such a high level over the years?
We've had good quality leaders.
In the world ratings, we have always been up there.
And I just told you some of it. I just told you some of it. We had good, solid leaders. We had good role models for our presidents, and each one sat at the feet of the one before.
Wonderful.
We went overseas and found people who could come back and help us. So I brought Jill McIntosh here. But Jill wasn't the first person to come from overseas to help, but brought by me. Leela Robinson. Sharon Donaldson brought Lynn Gunson here. Lynn Gunson came from New Zealand. And they come with their structures and they share it with us. And we tailor it to suit ourselves. And they come and they share their knowledge with our coaches and our managers. And then Leela, as I said, brought two. I grew up into netball hearing three names, Lorna McConkey and Pam Barham. Those two ladies came from, and another one from England, I don't remember. But Leela Robinson brought them here. So they were always showing, teaching, coaching our players. So we never fallen out of the fifth frame, right? Yeah. We always competing within the region. And it showed that we had good coaches. Over the years, we have run coaching courses. Molly sent Oberon and Connie down to Australia, and they learned under Norma Plummer.
Okay.
Those days, the Australia Institute of Sport would give scholarships, and Connie and Oberon went down there. I sent Oberon to spend a week with my colleague, president of the World Netball, Cheryl Dawson, and Oberon spent a week in Cheryl's home and did some work with Norlene Taura, who is the coach, and this was 2011. So we are constantly upgrading our players and our coaches, and that in itself will make you better than the people in the region. But every time you go to play in a Caribbean tournament, you end up winning.
Okay, before I ask my next question, let me just introduce my other host, Franco. You met Franco before? First
probably
here, yeah.
I probably did.
Yes, we did. How you doing, Marva? Pleasure meeting you again.
Hi, Franco. I'm good.
In fact, Franco was the main host when we did the St. Vincent show.
Okay, yes. Oh, yes.
Big question I want to ask you.
I'm listening to Marva tell the story again and again, as always, and especially about the house that, they have acquired and, turn it now into a home, for all the netballers. And it just flashed into my mind. I remember I was, when I saw the Cool Runnings movie, and I said, Marva words could turn into a script to become a movie, maybe later on.
Yeah.
I don't know what she think about it, because I know she's not somebody who like fame, knowing that she started out as a business out. She said the first time she went to play, but she never played. She ended up being manager. End up being manager for a team, and her managerial experiences. Exactly. I'm listening and I said, that managerial experience from business house right up to now.
Very well.
Has molded her into what she is now, and I applaud you very much.
You know my story very well.
Come on, if you look at the Sunshine Girls and how they have kept their position. Marva is gone.
Maybe. Do you have her still?
No, I'm not seeing her now. Give her a few minutes to see if she comes back.
Mm. Yeah, I'm listening to the story, you know, and it keep flashing in my mind. This could be a Cool Runnings,
Yeah, man. Oh, yes. Oh,
a
yeah.
Cool Runnings movie, you know, script, a story that have been, you know, told many times and improve more and more with good things, greater things, you know.
Yeah.
The iPad died. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I realized that.
I thought it had enough juice to last me,
Yeah.
but it's dying. Well, the phone is not going to die, you know. I think I have about 77% of it. So,
Yeah.
okay, you hearing me?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
When
I
that's
I,
just
it.
hope
when I
that
saw the
nobody don't
phone, when I
call.
saw the phone come in, I realized that the iPad left you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, looking at how over the years, because I've been with netball for a very long time. I've been watching. I mean, I love netball, and the netball team has been so on top, powerful for such a long time. The big
We
question,
have good leagues too. We have good leagues.
yeah, but
So we have competitive leagues. We have always
yeah,
had
oh yes,
competitive
oh yes,
leagues.
oh yes.
And then we put in an elite league in 2014.
Mm.
Australia shared everything with me. Everything with that ANZ league in 2014 so we could start our own.
I
And
I was in Toronto for a while when the Jamaican teams usually come up and play. And I was going to watch them, the business house team and the national
okay.
team and whatever.
But yeah,
In
the girls, the
the
Jamaicans
70s.
love the netball.
Oh, yes.
They
Oh, yes.
really do love the netball.
I don't know if you can answer
So
the question is, but why haven't the other teams copied what netball has done?
the other Caribbean teams,
Doing?
you mean the other teams in
No,
Americas and the Caribbean?
no, the other Jamaican teams, other sports.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't answer that. A lot of knowledge is not shared because people either hold on to it, don't want to. Sport is cruel, you know. The competition in sport doesn't only happen on court,
I know,
it
I know.
happens in the associations.
Yeah,
And it happens where knowledge shared is if people hold on to the knowledge, people offer their services and it's not taken because of one reason or another that has nothing to do with the people's ability. It just happened to. I, in my later life, have come to realize that bad-mindedness is a real phenomenon. And insecurities and jealousies prevent people from asking for help, peeping over. I used to peep over the fence with JFF, you know. It's a joke that I tell all the time. Captain, when Captain was alive, I would read everything and I read everything that every sport is doing. So I would learn what not to do and what to do and what work and what I could try.
yeah.
So I would go and say to Captain, you have a good, you get all the coaches to in your leagues to be certified. Them that him says I insist. And he said anything I wanted to know, he would send me to this lady in his office named Janice Rosebrook to share it with me. And so I saw where they have this JNA, UTEC, not JNA, JFF and UTEC partner to train coaches, and I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our club coaches who were not certified, a lot of them talented coach, but they just don't have the certification where you put together the whole package. As I heard Michael Ricky say this morning that your neighbor who love netball, his neighbor who love football, no longer can coach a team. Them have to go and get certified, and so the
Oh, yeah.
players get better and you get better.
Mm.
So that's what I also did to copy it over from football and partnered with UTEC to have a coaching course, and I think about 3 or 4 cohorts. And how did we manage to send them? Because them have to pay when we put a budget in for the leagues with the sponsors. we asked the sponsor to cover the cost of the winning coaches, 2 coaches.
Okay.
So each year we had 3 leagues,
Yeah, 6 coaches.
right, going to be trained.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases even more, because the first and second place and the third place coaches would get trained, and the sponsor would include some extra money in the kitty for them to go to UTEC and get trained.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them went to the member of parliament and got it to go up there. So we certified a lot of coaches. And I know I did get myself in trouble one time because I said, not under my watch, no man now coach my team. But me really never mean to say so in that way, because none of them were certified at the time.
Okay.
And then now they get certified, so I have to eat my words. But I don't mind eat them sometimes, because I teach a lesson, so you must think before you talk. But I mean, they were, and I'm telling you, they're grateful. I'm going to tell you a story. There's a young lady who I knew as an umpire. She's an international umpire today. She reminded me of the story so I can tell it. Umpiring is long and can be very long and arduous, the road.
Yeah.
And I encouraged Tracy to do the JNA coaching course. Because Tracy was a teacher. He's a teacher. Tracy did the JNA UTEC coaching course, and I think she came out at the top of the class. Tracy reminded me the other day, because Woolmer's won one of the ISA competitions. I don't know if it's the junior one. She said, Mrs. Bernard, remember as you encouraged me to coaching? Me never even remember. But Tracy went and coached in the JNA Elite League after she graduated from UTEC in the JNA UTEC coaching course.
Mm-hmm.
So she have an umpiring qualification and she have a coaching certification. So put those two together in one person coaching a team at Woolmer's, our school. Winnings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And each player in every sport have a right to be coached by a certified coach.
Oh, yes.
And that is my firm belief. And when I was president of NETBALL Jamaica, I set out to certify my coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They felt good about it. They got a certificate. We had graduation. And people came at the graduation. Guess where the graduation keep? NETBALL House.
Okay.
On the lawn. Yes, we had graduation for the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I look back in my archives and I see the pictures. Mr. Nevers graduated from there. And guess what we also did? Because some of the teams were very strong, they would be winning every year.
Yeah.
So guess what? You see, if Jamaica send 3 coach this year and then win again next year, 3 other coach from the lower teams that didn't win anything, they got a chance to go because the sponsorship money going to cover them even.
Yeah.
So if we trickled it down. And I remember Pat Thomas was saying to me, she was our league administrator, she said, Mrs. Bernard, we are going to trickle down this benefit. So if one club win every year, them can alone be the only coaches that going to get trained. Let us trickle it down to the eventually several club coaches went to JNA UTEC coaching course, level 1 and level 2. Those are good times.
Mm.
Those are good times. Yes. So
let's jump the present now. What are you seeing in the future? Netball is bigger, of course.
I see the future looks very bright. There are some structures and some things that the administration has to get right back on track, which is their accounting. How should I put it? Their financials.
Yeah.
It has never been this bad. And they have to get that back on track. You cannot not have an AGM and not have audited financials to present to your members. That has not been our experience up to when I was there. I inherited that kind of how should I put it? Molly Rowan was very insistent. I remember one month I was doing my CPAs and I couldn't prepare her financials to present to her board meeting, and she was livid. She didn't care that I was preparing for my CPA exams, right? But we need to get back to those days where you have your AGM in November, your year end is the 30th of June. You because you produce the accounts monthly by a software, you can therefore give it to your auditors by the end of August.
Yeah.
Or even before.
Yeah,
And
July.
the auditors will do their work September, October, and have it ready for the members in November. And it's not a difficult exercise if you do it. So that's something I think I would like to definitely not experience as long as I am here in this land of the living, that they will get that right. We need to look at umpiring. I told somebody that I love umpiring, but umpiring doesn't love me because I tried in every one of my roles as president to make a difference with umpiring, and it hasn't happened. We had a lovely program called Junior Umpires, where all of those girls who couldn't make the cut to under 16 from the 2007 under 14 program, we had asked them what they wanted to do, and they wanted to become, those who wanted to become umpires, we had them in a classroom. They did their umpiring theory exam and they passed. BNS had a graduation ceremony for them. And just to do the practical and continue the journey, they have all fallen by the wayside. Maybe it's only about two. Katie and Dehaney was one of them who was a junior umpire. She's now playing in the Fever in the Suncorp Super Netball League. So I think we need to have a pathway. It's like we have a pathway for the players. We need to have a pathway to replenish our pool of umpires. It's happening in the region that the umpires, the cadre is getting older. I tried with umpiring in the region and didn't succeed either. I did a lot of work, had help from overseas, I had help from the IUAs, but it just has not worked. And people get discouraged because they're not engaged, they can't see the future, and they drop out. So that, I think, is something NETBALL Jamaica needs to also be looking at. Their umpires, they need to put back in place some of the structures that may have broken. Now, the team is doing very well, and that's wonderful. We don't take that away, but there are other things that needs to be addressed. The communication between the clubs, and because it's not only about the national team, You have the clubs and you have to take care of them. And of course, I know the president who, well, Trisha has said she's not going back. So
No, yeah.
the other lady has said she's going to be looking at the parishes because you're playing netball only
Yeah, I heard
in
that.
St. Andrews. So yes. So I know she has to look at that. We had started that, but like I say, sometimes when the baton is passed, not everything in the baton gets passed. Some of it drop off, and you get retardation in some areas or extinction in some areas because it's not easy. You have to hold their hands. And I think NETBALL Jamaica had instituted a ridiculous $40,000 a year membership fee for the parish associations. Poor soul, I don't know how on God's earth only business house could pay that.
Yeah.
And so I know that what happens when the association changes hands, they sit down and look at where they are and what they want to fix and what they want to continue or to discontinue. So I'm sure that will happen come the end of February. I don't know when it's the AGM. I think if it has been announced yet, but hopefully that the accounts and everything, and we will never find ourselves in this sad situation of not having an AGM from, I think the last AGM was 2021. So we need to tighten that up, So There you are.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful episode. Yes, yes, yes. So you're saying that the netball future look bright.
Of course it does.
How is
We
it
don't even
how is it looking for the rest of
get
the
it correct,
Caribbean?
but what we do live in. Well, I have left the Caribbean since 2022. I don't know what is happening there now. Again, I have passed the baton and I'm not sure really what is happening
Yeah.
there. You probably should get the president on your show and let her tell you what is happening
Yeah,
there.
we need to do that. Yes, definitely need to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And you get the incoming president of NETBALL Jamaica. I don't know if anybody else is declared their interest in running, but you need to get them so they
Yeah,
can
one
get.
lady was on the news last night. Can't remember her name.
Karen Ball.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she said
She's the director in charge of sponsorship and
right,
marketing.
yeah. Yeah,
She actually did serve on with me before I ended my term with Karen on my team.
okay.
Yes. So I actually brought her into netball. She couldn't tell me no, so I brought her in and left her with it then. I think she came off and then she came back.
Okay. Based on what she was saying, she sounded very enthusiastic and really.
Yes, and she's very heavily involved in the league, in the tournaments that are here and all those wonderful stuff you see going on out there. Pretty. That's Karen.
Okay.
I know Karen. She's director of marketing. I think with Cinco. She's in charge of the marketing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I leaned heavily on her with that era when she came on board to help me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So there's always opportunities for growth with change. And each president hopefully will build on what the last president left. And so the organization will continue. Like I said, you fix what needs fixing. And I have told you what I think really needs fixing is never to find ourselves in that situation again where we can't account for what it is that we have, stewardship over. And regardless of how, if I'm not using the right words, we need to be able to say to our members. I remember people were saying to me during my journey, I would never have an AGM without the audited financials. That was a given. And I remember getting some legal advice, and the lawyer said, the reason why you're having an AGM is to report on the finances to the members and the activities of the executive during the year past. But it is important for the members to know the stewardship of the funds that you managed on their behalf. So, those are the things I learned. But Mrs. Rowan wasn't going to even considering, and I served under her because I was her treasurer for 10 years,
Okay.
So there was no way that this was going to happen. And we actually did have, I have all of those audited financial statements. I don't know why I'm hoarding them. I promised to give them to GC Foster, but they're all in the annual report was prepared for our members, and it included the audited financial statements.
Okay.
And I used to love to go to the sponsors and give them a copy of our annual report. A little show off. Here's a cup. So sometimes you don't leave with no money, but you leave with respectability. And I worked at JIS for many years, and Carmen Tiplin taught me image. So when look here, you see the covers. The covers always were attractive. So you want to open the book when you see the cover, right?
Oh, yes.
I have to give you a joke. We went to Parliament one year from JIS with our, what do you call it? Financials or whatever it is. I don't know. And she put a beautiful cover on it. Not one picture was in that book. is pure spreadsheet, numbers, figures, narratives, and the cover was so pretty. Everybody, all the member of parliament passed and wanted to look in the book
Look.
because the cover
Cover,
was so
yeah.
pretty. So I took that and put in the back of my head. Every annual report was an event of was some beautiful picture, either of the team or
Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
something catchy that the members would want to open it now and see what is in there, you know?
Presentation, yeah.
Image is everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Images of it. I used to watch how the girls dress. When I see how New Zealand dress them in a little black dress and Australian them, and when our girls leave here and stand on the court, we are to be the creme de la creme.
Creme. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
So
yes.
you take sure and make sure that this is because as a female, you look, if your uniform fit you good, you feel good, you know.
Of course.
And you know, if you draw down nothing every minute or pull on nothing. And we took pride in making sure that these girls look the way they look now. And they love to look. And we had a girl, Jill Pattison, never took the field without her lipstick, you know. And we always remember that with Jill on Air Jamaica team and Jamaica's team, she always wore her lipstick.
Yeah.
And so these are the memories that you have and you would like to share, because some of these girls don't even know some of these players. Those are my lamentations. But guess what? I guess the opportunity for them to meet. So we had the past players of way back when the other day, and they all came to netball. That was wonderful.
Okay, yeah, that must have been, yes.
Yes. So, my dear, I have had some wonderful memories. I have had some good experiences with people overseas who have helped me on my journey and taught me stuff. And during my term in the region, I brought one or two of them into to help to make us better.
Yeah.
And that is all I was expected to do. I don't know, as I say, I really don't know what's happening now. I'm just trying to don't take on too much that is not my business, you know. And as I say, I was very busy with the whole of this year, just making that house ready for the girls. I really wanted it ready for them for England.
Yeah.
And we managed, you know.
Any word on your transportation?
Any word on my?
Transportation.
No, I hear they might be getting a bus, but I think Stewart's has been really very kind to them. And they have been transporting them, but the thieves took it away and never to be seen again.
I know.
They need 2 buses for 2 squads, but if we get one more, that's fine.
Yeah. Wonderful. Franco?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, man,
So
we have been here for a while, so we don't want to keep you much longer.
Thank you so much.
Ask you that you will come back and speak to us as things.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
As the world turns, as they say, as new things happen, you know, we always
yes
rock on you to come back and speak with us.
You just call me.
Yeah, man. You know, I will always do that.
It's just a phone call away for you.
Okay, and you know that I'll be happy to share.
Yeah, man.
I'll be happy to share. All right.
Really enjoy this evening. Really.
I did.
Thank you very, very much.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Marva. All right. Have a good evening. Bye.
Good. Bye.
You lead us to full. You belong far away away. Ajugwala lebo buseru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what said me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight.